Hi guys and welcome back to Wheelipin Gaming. Today we're going to be going back into Automobilista 2 to have a wee look at some of the game mechanics, some of the online mechanics specifically, with a good friend of mine, SimesMC, that supplied the game for these videos. So we're going to have a wee look at various things and we hope you enjoy the video and it's a bit informative for you. Cheers! Okay, I'd just like to point this out guys quickly that I'm trying to use the invite function within Automobilista 2 at the moment. You get this really horrible ticking noise. I did find earlier that it does disappear eventually. There we go, the ticking noise has stopped now, and hopefully when I click return to game now, there we go. But it is an issue that you've got to put up with that for a good 20 seconds before you can get the invite box to go away. But it does work, at least. Okay guys, so here we are, we're at Canada, Montreal, and we're on a couple of Mitsubishi Evos, and we're going to do a wee bit of testing of the collision detection within Automobilista 2. For those of you that watched my first video, the first impressions, you'll have seen that I had a bit of issue on the online servers with collision detection at the back of other cars and other cars at the back of me, and other racers not to do with me as well. So I thought I'd come in with SimesMC, my mate Simon, and see if we can test it out for ourselves and see just how good or bad the collision detection is. Right, so there we go, getting close, no contact yet. Well, that's good. I didn't hit you until I did actually hit you there. Yeah, wee bit of a stutter after I hit you there, but again the contact wasn't until I hit you. Looks good from my mirror, looks like you're touching me before you hit me. How did it look from your side?
Well, it looked alright. That second one was a wee bit dodgy.
Kinda jump and stutter, aye.
Oh, that's a better one. Again, oh! That was a bit hefty, that one.
How was it though? Did it stutter and lag as you hit me?
Well, I've been right through you there.
Oh, did you? Oh, you're a bit floaty on the road, I've got to say, looking.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it gets a bit laggy when you start having more than a wee bit of contact, doesn't it?
It doesn't seem to know what's going on.
Yeah, it kind of jumps out a wee bit. Doesn't seem too bad from the side as long as you're not going over each other's nose. Right, so here we are again in the Formula V10s, the replicas of Formula 1 cars, so we're going to go and do the same again. A bit of bumping and banging up the straight and see what the collision detection's like in these cars. That seems pretty good. Oh, our wheels just went through each other there though.
Yeah, that's alright, yeah.
Get a wee bit glitchy there as you were spinning. Oh, yeah, that was very fucking laggy.
Was it?
Yeah, you jumped all over the track there.
Oh, okay. I felt it goodly, I felt it properly through the wheel.
Yeah, you literally jumped about all over the track.
Well, abnormally, you mean?
Yeah, stuttery like, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to come across you there. how did that look from yours?
Yeah, I looked alright to begin with, but then went right through you kind of thing.
Yeah, I think they've got something in place that ghosts the cars when they slow down too much. But they need to sort that out for online. You can't be ghosted through a car midway through a fucking collision, you know. Oh, I was nowhere near you there. I was about 5 foot behind you. Yeah, so obviously still a bit of detected collision work. Seems to be more on the open wheelers than the hard tops, judging by that test. Although the hard tops aren't perfect either by any stretch.
Yeah, that was okay.
The collision happened when it should have happened, but as soon as I hit you, you went from facing forward to facing left in an instant, you know? It wasn't like you spun round, you just kind of glitched round, you know what I mean?
That's not a high ping or whatever, no?
It could be,
not
but
the game.
I experienced it on the other online servers I played on and all, you know.
Yeah, oh, in
Even
the
if
UK,
it is,
yeah.
to be honest, I very, very rarely get that in any other racing game, and never to the level we're seeing it here. Whoa, yeah, that was a bad one. So that's something I've just found there as well, guys. When you're setting up a multiplayer session on the online lobbies, when you go to select to not have any practice in the session, there seems to be a bit of a glitch in the game where it wants to actually set the practice session up as 24 hours. So you're having to sometimes put it in as a wee 5-minute practice session just to eliminate that. Another wee bug for you there. Yeah, corner I didn't realise. Well, hating this car. Feels quite nice to drive this wee car. Bit heavy, but quite fun.
Oh Christ!
Did you put your pants there?
I thought that was going to just go. I thought it was just going to ghost and knock my car completely.
Oh, did they not get ghosted for me? I just went straight through.
No, it annihilated me. My screen's all shattered. Yeah. I jumped right up off the ground.
Right, so we were unable to get anyone to join our server, so we've just bitten the bullet and joined someone else's server, and we'll see how the multiplayer goes on that, and we can report back on it.
My game's got a little wonky here. I have to restart. Can't start the car.
I tried reset to the pits again. That's what happened to me.
Oh, it's come good now.
So that's another thing that we're finding at the moment. There's not a lot of people on the service. When we set up a server for multiplayer, we're struggling to get anyone to join it, and even in the other servers that are set up, there's very few cars in it, so struggling a wee bit for player base at the moment, I think. Right, so we've managed to get an online lobby set up with more or less a full grid of 11 guys now, Brands Hatch in the sprint car, so we'll get to test out a roll and start, see how that goes, and a bit of collision detection with a multitude of different online folk. And as you can see, they are all different pings as well, so we'll see how this goes. Right, so here we are, roll and start, and I can't get my car to go. What the fuck is going on? My car won't move.
Yeah, there's somebody stuck at the front. Yeah.
Alright, because the lights haven't gone. So some of the people, the lights went green, I guess, because they moved off straight away, and some of the folk, they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, that was fucking weird. So yeah, the roll and start is completely and utterly broken then. Oh, and someone's flying through the air there.
Where'd you go?
Wee bit stuttery from Simon. Whoa! I don't know if that was...
Oh shit, they put you off?
Nah, I don't know if that was glitchy contact, or I just spun or whatever, and this guy behind me is just being a dick. Another Forza racer, obviously. You can see from that incident it's still suffering the dodgy driver situation, which to be fair can plague any and all online racing games. Right, so as you can see guys, the online's still a bit broken to be fair. Wasn't in that much close contact to see how the collision detection and lag was, but it didn't look spectacular, didn't look too bad either. Still not sure if that off I had was due to a netcode with Simon or whether it was due to just me oversteering. And then obviously you had the Forza driver after that running into the back of me and ruining the footage for the rest of the race. But overall, you saw the roll and start at the beginning. That was just absolutely shocking. Some of the drivers sped off straight away. The rest of us had to wait there until the lights changed. I think some drivers drove into the back of others. It was just chaos. So the roll and starts are completely and utterly broken at the moment. So if you are setting up an online lobby, don't use roll and start. Okay. Yep, so as you can see, collision detection is still an issue with the online servers. Once again, still in early access. Game looks absolutely stunning, really does, looks really good. The more I play it, the more I'm finding that I'm enjoying both the force feedback, the feel of the unknown cars, and just the general driving physics of the cars themselves. I'm finding it's a really fun sim to drive, but it still has these obviously major multiplayer issues with the collision detection, whether that's down to netcode or lag or just bad collision detection on the multiplayer models or something. I really don't know. I'm not technical enough to know that kind of stuff, but all I do know is it's bad, and the video evidence of how bad it is clear for anyone to see. However, I also stress that it is still very early access game, and the signs, in my opinion, are very, very promising. If it keeps developing, as hopefully it will, this could genuinely turn into be one of the best Sims racing games out there. It has that potential. Whether that potential will be fulfilled or not is always another question, but the potential is there. The driving model at the moment, for most of the cars I've tried anyway, is just fantastic. It feels so much fun to drive, but we need that multiplayer component sorted and sorted quick. That, in my opinion, should really be their priority, because there's so little to the game at the moment. It needs to have that multiplayer option working correctly so that people can come in and enjoy the game without what you saw happening at the start of this race and at the start of pretty much every race I've had online on the AM2, to be honest with you, because the collision detection or lag or whatever it is that's causing it is so bad, and it's just causing silly crashes that are ruining the races. And if you've not got a single player championship or time trial mode or anything like that, multiplayer's really the only option outside doing single player individual races against AI. It really needs to have better functioning multiplayer than what it currently does. Right, so I'm going to try out one of the licensed cars that most people around the UK might actually have heard of, or Europe or America might actually have heard of, one of the Caterhams. Now again, the wee Caterham feels absolutely blinding to drive. It feels like I would imagine a Caterham feels like to drive. I've never driven one, but like I would imagine, it's very lively. You're constantly adjusting both throttle and steering to play with the car, dance round corners. It's a lot of fun to drive that. Yep. I'm noticing a little bit of an issue with the curbs as well, a wee bit of a Project Cars 2 issue where they seem to overly affect the balance of the car. Hopefully something that can be improved on in future updates. I'm sure it's something that can be. And it's not a game breaker by any stretch of the imagination, but it is just a little bit annoying that sometimes the curbs react a little bit crazy. What the fuck? Oh well, there you go again. I just did the qualifying. For no reason whatsoever, I've been put onto a start line pit camera look. I never got the option to continue to join the race. I'm just sitting here looking at the cars passing as they start the race, and even then you saw from the start there, that was an absolute shambles. Some of them started, some of them didn't. Don't think anyone knew what was going on. Yeah, come on Ryza, you need to sort this out. This is poor, even for early access. If the only option you're really going to give us is a bit of multiplayer racing, there's no championship mode in there. Okay, there's single races against AI, but that gets a bit boring after a while. If the only real option you're going to give us is multiplayer racing, at least make the basics work, guys. Come on, that's pretty poor, man. Right, so this time we're going for the Evil Lancer and see if we have any more luck with this. Another online server, guys. Got 11 guys in it at the moment, see how it goes. Again, force feedback feels great. It's rumbling along the straights, it's bumping over the curbs. There's good feel to it, there's good strength to it, there's a bit of pressure back against you as you're steering. It's The physics of the car feels good, it feels like a four-wheel drive, it's drifting like a four-wheel drive. Yeah, really, once again, really impressed with the driving model. Let's just hope we can actually get an online race going this time, without it getting all messed up at the start. Its off-track seem to be better than Project Cars, and I would say probably iRacing as well, in that it doesn't punish you for going off if you've not actually gained anything. Only seems to punish it if you do actually make a gain from going off, which is good. That's the way it should be. There's nothing more frustrating than having an off that loses you time and then you get a slowdown for it as well just because you've gone off track at the wrong point. That's just fucking stupid. See, the collision detection's still off. There's no way I touched the back end there. I was fairly close at least, but I didn't touch him. No chance. And I suspect that's what a lot of these collisions are from, is from these nearly but non-existent touches. What the fuck was he playing at? Circling around trying to fucking hit people off like a dick. Unfortunately the game still suffers from quite a lot of that as well. Forza players, Gran Turismo players, I don't know, silly wee idiots. I wonder if we're getting replays in multiplayer yet. Nope, still no replays either. No, that's a big deal, that's just incidental, it's just to point it out, that's all. Right, so I've set up a roll and start in a wee single player game just to see how the roll and start goes in that, so let's check it out. Right, so straight away this is more promising than the online version of it. Seems to be roll and starting okay. Oh! Albeit it kind of started me off in the middle of the fucking corner, which wasn't good. Might want to rethink their timer a little bit. But again, that's not a problem with Automobilista. All games have that problem with giving you control. Why not give you control at this point straight away? Instead of when the light goes green, that's just silly. Sounds in the background are very pretty, sky looks good, crowd looks pretty decent. Oh, that seemed like pretty good collision physics there. Certainly compared to the online. Right, so this time we've got the GT5 at Oulton Park, back online again, see how we're going to get on this time with collision and whatnot. Once again, the GT5 feels very different from other cars I've driven on the AM2. And it feels very good. Good feedback. Good feel to the way the car's driving. Felt good, yeah. I like the physics of Automobilista too, I've got to say. The cars feel a lot better balanced than some other sims. And once again, this is a fun car to drive. And as usual, oh, for fuck's sake, are you fucking serious, you tit? Well, Either that was some really bad driving at the start of that race, or it was the shit collision detection again, and I suspect it was probably the shit collision detection, as it's happened at the start of every single online race I've done so far. Every single one without fail. Oh, but the car physics do feel so good, man, they really do. And the sound as well. All the cars sound fantastic. Aye, don't be a dick, Maestro. Fuck's sake, there's no need for that, man. No, that's a shame. That could have turned into a decent wee race with those guys there if that wanker hadn't ruined it. Oh, it's so much fun to drive, it really is. Just hope they get on top of this collision thing in the online servers sooner rather than later, because it's going to drive people away without a shadow of a doubt. Really frustrating at times. I've got to say, I don't like the race complete countdown that they've got, the same as Project Cars 2. I never liked that in Project Cars 2. Just let the race finish when the last driver fucking finishes. Right, so we're back in the Caterham again, super light this time, at Oulton Park. Again, handles a lot different from the GT5 I was driving in the last race. It's a lot slider, nowhere near as much weight to it, which you would expect given the type of cars, and it just it feels like there's a lot more lateral movement with this than there is with the GT5, which I guess you would probably expect as well. And it's just fun, it's a frisky wee thing, you know, and it feels like a frisky wee thing. That just felt great, whole back end slide going into that corner there, really good feel and physics if you like, and force feedback, and yeah, the driving experience of these cars is really good within Automobilista too. I can feel the juddering as it's going over the spikes there, I can feel going over bumps, there's good detail to the force feedback, there's good weight to it, and there's good changes between all the different vehicles, like significant changes. They feel like they feel like they are totally different, as they should. Oh, even the pits look pretty cool. The marshal at the side, tell me that doesn't look pretty real, man. Alright dude, how's it going? Wonder if you can go into the wrong garage. Oh, you can as well. Sorry boys, wrong garage. It's quite poor that once you're in to the game session in multiplayer as well, you can't find out any information, you can't find out how long the race is going to be or anything, so for setting up your fuel and pit stops and things like that, there's no indication anywhere of what the race condition, not the race conditions, you've got all the conditions up here, wind, ambient, track, etc, but there's no indication of how long the race is going to be. So unless you remember from when you entered the session, you've no clue how long the race is going to be. It's just guesswork. And then even in here, you're in your race prep screen and still no indication of how long the race is actually going to be. Terrible start. Is that more collision physics coming into play, do we think? Or maybe being unfair in the game to say that without really seeing it? Controllable on the edge with some of the cars in this game, it's nice. Not with all of them, as it should be. So yeah, in conclusion then, this we look at Automobilista 2 since the recent update on the 17th of April. Game's looking great, in my opinion, generally speaking. The cars handle fantastic. The physics, the driving model, the force feedback, just the way they feel, the way they all feel so different. It really, really getting that spot on. They're really headed in a good direction with that, in my opinion. There are some issues with the game, of course. It is early access. Do need to reiterate that. Issues like the multiplayer, like I say, with it being that the game is quite pricey in early access, and there's nothing to the game at the moment other than single races against the AI or multiplayer. So multiplayer is going to be the obvious option, and to be quite honest, for the most part, it's broken at the moment. Broken. Rolling starts don't work at all. Don't even try them on multiplayer until they fix them. Absolutely messed up. I had that problem where it started the race and I was looking on in some kind of spectator view. We bug there as well. Collision detection, netcode, lag, whatever you want to call it, whatever's causing the collisions between cars when they're nowhere near each other. They really, really need to get on top of that fast, because that is going to drive people away. That's really frustrating when you're trying to have close, hard racing and you're 3, 4, 5 foot behind a car in front and you're knocking them off. It's just silly. Absolutely silly. That's the biggest problem with it at the moment. It does have other issues. Multiplayer sessions can't be forwarded, so if you want to forward the practice session or the qualifying session because everyone's done what they're doing, you can't do it. You just need to wait for it to tick down. Hopefully that's an easy fix for them. Like I said, multiplayer rolling starts are just broken completely or broken completely. Multiplayer replays, they're not working at all. Click on, doesn't happen. Not a big deal at all, but just a mention in there. It's got the icon for doing it, but you can't. You can get replays in single player mode though. Weather time transitions, fantastic, really, really good. Not showed a lot of them in the videos so far because I've been wanting consistent conditions to do the testing of the collision model and whatnot, but going forward, and plus people don't put up servers with rain and weather in them for some reason. Folk are generally scared of them, but I'll get up some videos with some weather, some good weather changes and things like that in them in the coming days and weeks and whatnot, and as the game updates and develops. There's an issue as well when you go into the multiplayer and you set up a room and you try to invite people through the Steam invite. It does this weird thing where it kind of goes into a repeating loop and sticking and clicking and making this horrible noise. Don't panic, stick with it. If you leave it for, I don't know, it's like 10-15 seconds or so, it will kind of reset itself and you can come out of the invite page and back onto your game okay, but it feels like the game's frozen up when you try and invite someone because of the way that acts. Again, wee bug, hopefully they'll get on top of it, but don't worry about it. You do come out of it eventually if you just leave it. Had an issue in a few races as well where it had the pit-in box for damage after collisions of whatever sort of kind. You've done a quick pit, reset your car, come back out, the pit-in box for damage has stayed up. I've not had a situation where I've tested that since the update, and I believe from one of the patch notes in the update that may have been fixed, but if I come across it again I'll let you know. It was an issue previously. So basically that's it. Second look at Automobilista 2. Already some improvements, I would say. Game feels fantastic, cars drive fantastic, physics feel great, graphics overall are great. The individual car models, generally speaking, aren't fantastic at the moment, but hopefully that will be improved on. They're a bit plain looking at the moment. Problems with the multiplayer players are there for all to see. They're quite obvious. The problems with the collision detection, netcode, lag, whatever you want to call it, that's causing the silly bumps within the multiplayer races. In my opinion, Ryza has got to focus on that. That should be their priority, to sort that out, because that's going to be the thing that drives people away if they don't. But overall, really, really enjoying the game, really enjoying the driving physics and driving models and whatnot. If you're a sim racer and you don't mind a bit of jank, then yeah, go ahead and get it, because I think it is going to develop into something good. It's not cheap for an early access. I think they possibly could have put out a bit cheaper than what they have for what they're offering at the moment. However, I think it will pay off in the end. I think it will come good, I really do. But I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and like, subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll catch you soon.